Hey there, friend, and welcome to Season 5 of Dominate Your Day. Today, it's just me and you. No guest, just a conversation I've been wanting to have with you for a while. Because before we dive into another incredible season together, I want to share something with you, something I don't talk about very often. I want to tell you about 3 words that started a revolution in my life. But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever achieved something impressive on paper? The title, the promotion, the recognition, and still felt a little off? Like something was missing? Like you were performing a role instead of actually living your life? Maybe you've been the go-to person everyone relies on, the steady one, the one who holds it all together. And somewhere along the way, you lost touch with who you actually are underneath all of that. If that's you, I want you to know I see you, because that was me. For years, I was a professional people pleaser, a self-appointed fixer of everyone else's problems. I was the good girl who said yes to everything, who showed up perfectly, who made sure everyone around me was okay while I was quietly cracking on the inside. On the outside, I looked like I had it together. I had built a successful career at Southwest Airlines. I had the title, the respect, the accomplishments that looked impressive on paper. But inside, I was exhausted. I was performing leadership instead of living it. And I was trying desperately to fix, control, and manage everyone around me except myself. Then 2008 hit, and my carefully constructed world started to crumble. My 25-year marriage was in crisis. We faced financial devastation. My husband was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and our daughter was away at college. And I found myself standing in the rubble of everything I thought defined me. And I remember thinking, how did I get here? I did everything right. I followed the rules. I showed up for everyone. And that's when I realized I had spent my entire life focused on what was happening outside of me. Other people's problems, other people's feelings, other people's approval. I was stuck in what psychologists call the drama triangle. Do you know it? There are 3 roles we unconsciously play when we're not living authentically. There's the fixer, always swooping in to rescue everyone else. And then the avoider, the one that's running from conflict, stuffing down emotions, pretending everything is fine. And the blamer, pointing fingers at circumstances or other people for things that aren't working. I rotated through all 3 daily, and I didn't even know it. I'll never forget standing in my counselor's office. He put a hula hoop on the floor and said 2 words to me: step inside. That hula hoop, he explained, represents your circle of control. Everything inside the hoop, your thoughts, your actions, your choices, and your responses, that's yours to manage. Everything outside the hoop, other people's opinions, global events, the past, other people's behavior, that's not. And then he said something that would spark a revolution in my life. He said, change me first. Not change my spouse, not change my circumstances, not change people I work with, not change the economy or my health situation or anyone else. Change me first. Those 3 words became my prayer, my commitment, my daily practice. And over the next 17 years, through counseling, through recovery programs, through Re-Engage Marriage Ministry, through Celebrate Recovery, through mentors and coaches who walked alongside me, I learned what it actually looks like to do the internal work. It wasn't quick, it wasn't easy, but friend, it changed everything. Our marriage was fully restored. My husband is cancer-free now and in recovery. And I discovered something that would become my life's mission, helping others find their authentic selves so they can lead from the inside out. During those years, I also discovered Clifton Strengths, an assessment that helped me understand my natural wiring. I learned that my top strengths include what Gallup calls futuristic, maximizer, and ideation. I could see future possibilities. I was wired to transform good to great. I love generating new ideas. But here's what I discovered. Knowing your strengths isn't enough. Understanding your values isn't enough. Even having a clear mission isn't enough. All of it only works when you make one commitment first: change me first. That's why I created the Authentic Imprint formula, and it goes like this: strengths plus your core values plus your mission times your emotional recognition. That becomes your authentic imprint. Your strengths are your natural wiring. It's how God designed you to think, feel, and behave. And your core values are your non-negotiables, what you stand for when no one is watching. And your mission, well, that's your unique calling, the impact only you can make. And emotional recognition, that's the multiplier. It's the ability to notice, name, and understand your emotional state before it even shapes your actions and relationships. It's what helps you respond from authenticity instead of react from old patterns. But here's what I've learned. The formula only activates when you commit to those 3 words first: change me first. Because you can know your strengths and still hide behind them. You can name your core values and still compromise them. You can write a beautiful mission statement and still live someone else's dream. The internal work always comes first, always. This April marks 5 years of Dominate Your Day podcast. 5 years, over 300 episodes, and what a journey it's been. I've had the honor of sitting across from incredible difference makers. Eileen Collins, who was the first commander of a space shuttle, taught us about leading under pressure when the whole world is watching. Becky Lewis shared her journey through devastating loss and cancer with courage that still inspires me. Diana Mal Kelly showed us what it looks like to build an organization that fights human trafficking with relentless compassion. And Rand Carlson, who went from living in his car to leading a men's recovery center, proved that transformation is always possible. Dr. Ruth Gautian helped us understand what separates peak performers from everyone else. These conversations have shaped me, and I know they've shaped you too. So here's what's coming in 2026. We're going deeper. This season, we're focusing on real-life workplace transformation stories. Not theory, not abstract principles, real leaders in real organizations making real change from the inside out. I'll be interviewing some of these leaders and teams I've had the privilege of working with, so you can hear directly how this work plays out in the real world. I'll also be sharing solo episodes like this one, teaching on what I'm learning, exploring trends in the workplace, and unpacking the principles that are making the biggest difference for the leaders I coach. I want you to hear from people who said, change me first, and watched it ripple out to their teams, their families, and their entire organization. Because here's what I believe with my whole heart. You don't need to be more productive, you need to be more you. That's the internal revolution, and it starts within. Before I close, I want to read something I wrote for my book. I call it The Heart of the Revolutionary. This was a letter I kept coming back to as I wrote. It kept me focused on who I was writing for. And today, I'm reading it to you. You've always been the steady one, the one who others rely on, the one who rises to the challenge, no matter what's on your plate. You've built a strong career, you've achieved remarkable things, and you wear your title with pride. But lately, something's shifted. You're starting to feel it beneath the meetings, the metrics, and the momentum. A quiet question rising inside: is this really who I am, or just who I've been expected to be? Let me read that one over. A quiet question rising inside: is this really who I am, or just who I've been expected to be? You've reached a point in your leadership where more success, more structure, or more productivity just isn't enough. Because what you're really craving isn't more achievement, it's more alignment. You want clarity, you want peace, you want to stop performing and start leading from who you truly are, not just the role you've been trained to play. And I see you because I've been there too. I know the pressure of being the go-to person, the decision maker, the face of responsibility. I know how easily our identities can get tied up in titles and external validation. And I know also how liberating it is to finally say, I'm ready to come home to myself. That's what this movement is about. It's not about burning everything down or walking away from leadership. It's about doing the internal work to rediscover your strengths, reconnect with your purpose, and lead from your values every single day. It's an internal revolution. And when you do this work, when you begin to live from the inside out, you transform not only your life, but the lives of everyone around you, your family, your team, your organization, your legacy. You don't need another performance improvement plan. You don't need to check more boxes. You just need space to remember who you are beneath the noise. Let's create that together. You don't have to do this alone. There's a roadmap, there's a journal, and there's a community of like-minded leaders and their support waiting to meet the real you. The you that's not just respected, but centered. Not just productive, but at peace. And not just successful, but fulfilled. You don't need to be more productive. You need to be more you. Let's begin. So friend, if any of that resonated with you today, here's your next step. I've created a free Authentic Imprint assessment that just takes 3 minutes, and you'll get a personalized scorecard showing you exactly where you are on your journey. And it maps directly to specific chapters in my book, The Internal Revolution, so you know exactly where to focus on your time and your growth. Head to danawilliamsco.scoreapp.com, and I'll put the link in the show notes. Reach out and we can talk about how to serve you and your team. Thank you for being here at the start of season 5. And thank you for trusting me with your time and for being a difference maker who's brave enough to do the internal work. Remember, change me first. That's where it all begins. Until next time, live in your strengths, dominate your day, and transform your life.